Hit the mics, take a seat, it's about to ignite. Two dudes with the spread, keep your bets locked tight. Sports talk sharp like a razor blade edge. Numbers don't lie, no need for a hedge. Welcome to the greatest fucking show on earth. From the pitch to the court where legends birth. Plays and parlays, every wager's worth. Sit back, tune in, ride the wave of mirth. Game clock's ticking, we predicting the heat. Fast talk, faster stats, never tasting defeat. Breakdowns crisp, clear, a handicapper's delight. Rolling dice with insight under stadium lights. Feel the rush, odds crush and adrenaline flow. Front row seats in this betting expo. Chasing triumphs, breaking every curse. Welcome to the greatest fucking show on earth. Field goals.
Hello, welcome to episode 21, Two Guys, One Spread podcast. I am Joe here with my boy Tommy.
Hold on.
Sporting the Sabres stuff.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
9th pick in the draft, right?
How lucky was that?
Yeah, here we go. Rolling into the 9th pick of the draft.
That's right.
For the NHL. The NHL draft lottery was the other day, and
that lottery's been great to us anyway. So 9th, why not?
Yeah.
The way it goes.
We're just gonna draft a guy and bring him right up anyway, whether
For
he's ready or not.
Yep.
This guy's 16. Bring him in. We're good. So, what's been going on? Episode 21, special number.
Big
Remember
number.
what?
It's one of my favorite numbers. Prime time back in the day was always one of my favorite players. Now I don't like him as much. It's crazy how that works. But when I was a kid, Dion was my boy.
Yeah.
I still got a Falcons 21 jersey in the closet. Always loved 21.
21 just it always makes me think of the old drinking age. Not that I remember turning 21.
Right.
Ton.
No,
Yeah. I
remember being at a bar with you at 19.
19. We must have been just getting lunch or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bar restaurant.
I know I turned 19 and a half in a bar. I remember.
Yeah.
So what's been going on, man? What are your thoughts? Let's start with NHL playoffs.
I like it.
A little bit.
I mean, we got to talk about the game. I mean, that Edmonton game was. I was trying to think of. You think of great comebacks in history of sports, and yeah, you can always go regular season, this and that, but this is Game 7.
The Winnipeg game.
Yeah.
I think you said Edmonton.
I'm sorry, Winnipeg.
Yeah.
I'm Canadian. You think about. I was thinking about this, like just greatest comebacks in sports, and regular season means something always when you come back, but it's just not the same as the playoffs. And Game 7, down 2 minutes to go, and man, it was awesome. It was exciting.
It was. I mean, every time I watch it back, I'm still like, yeah, they're gonna run out of time.
Yeah,
that guy fans on the puck with it's like 6 or 7 seconds left. I feel, and I'm like, oh, it's over. And then he pushes it back to him, and he just immediately slides it over. I mean, that definitely, obviously, seems like some sort of set play that they have with that guy. That bumper.
It was right there. It was definitely not a shot. It was, straight pass. They were ready for that play. I agree with you.
When I watch it, I feel like they're going to run out of time. I mean, the puck's in the corner with like 8 seconds left.
It was awesome. It was awesome. And the complete comeback and double OT. Bennington played. He played great. St. Louis. I don't know. It's one of those. They're the underdog. They had it, and then once you go to over, once that happens in regulation, it's got to be demoralizing.
I live betted them to win it in overtime.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, you got all the momentum going. You're at home. I've liked them anyway. I felt like they are a better team, right? They're the 1 seed for a reason. So the game was crazy. It was really wild. In addition to that, is the fact that they said Game 7, 2-goal leads, right?
Yeah.
Have only prior to the two we just had, right?
Right.
It only happened 3 times in the NHL's history, and then it happens on back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane.
It's insane.
That is just crazy. I mean, I love, from a hockey perspective, I absolutely love the playoff series that we have coming up here.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, they're great. I mean, we
that
got
that,
the first game
that
last night. Can we do one more thing on that game
yeah.
real quick? And it's really not have anything to do with hockey, but it bothered me.
Mm-hmm.
Listen, I don't like when a team does a whiteout and the team's not wearing white. This doesn't bother you?
I I don't
It
I
bothers
can't
me because I'm watching TV today, and you got the Capitals are wearing red, and the crowd is wearing red. That makes sense to me.
so
And I'm watching, go ahead. This bothered me. I
I
wasn't
gave that
commenting on
look. I gave that look because I'm watching the game with my daughter,
it. Yeah,
and she says the same thing. And
right.
I thought, like,
I know I have a brain of a
I swear
child.
to God, honestly, I thought, like, I guess I never really thought of it a ton. I'm like, I guess it's a 13-year-old girl type,
Yeah,
like,
that's right.
might notice something like that, right?
Right.
Swear to God, she said that to me.
Yeah.
She's like, I mean, it doesn't, first it started with, why do they wear why is the home team not wear white, right? And I'm like, well, they always used to.
Right.
He's like, why did they change? And I'm like, I'm not really sure, because I thought back in the day the idea was the home fans get to see all the different colors of the
Correct.
other.
That's how I thought it was too.
But then they switched, and I went and looked, and they basically said that it switched because um it allowed the home team to wear their third jerseys, which would increase sales.
I got you. That does make
Right.
sense.
So that, I guess that makes sense, but I still, but then she's like, well, the whiteout doesn't make, the whiteout's kind of stupid then. And I was
Yeah,
like,
it's stupid.
I know.
Daughter's right on. It's
Yeah.
stupid. Your crowd's all in white, and you have another team all in white, and that's not the team you're working for. Listen, I can figure it out. Obviously, I'm a smart man. But
Sure, you are smart.
I'm watching the game, and I'm like, they're like, and the announcer's like, it's a white out here, and I'm like,
Yeah.
why is Winnipeg wearing blue?
Yeah. Or for me, I don't,
And now I'm paying attention to it because I'm watching the Capitals game, and they're wearing red, and it's a red out or whatever.
That's what I mean. Is it just that the whiteout's so cool? Like, why couldn't it be a blue out?
Yeah.
Like, if they're
It
wearing,
would be sweet. I don't know. Everybody
yeah,
comes.
anytime you have that much unity,
Yeah.
I just think it's pretty cool, right?
Yeah. It is.
Oh, super funny. Super
Good.
funny.
I'm glad you already heard this conversation a little bit, and I'm not the only one upset. All
No, she
13-year-old little
definitely,
girls
she
are
said it
pissed
like,
off, too.
you know how kids sometimes say things over? She said it like 4 times.
Yeah. I couldn't. Now, like, I turned on the games today, and I couldn't stop focusing on it now. I'm like, all right, these crowds are doing these things. All right, this makes sense. They're doing it right. Winnipeg's the only one doing it wrong. Canada.
Well, we're going to have to see a little bit more of it. I mean, that game, the previous game was the Stars and the Avalanche. I mean,
yeah, that was good. That was a good game. Avalanche. That's another game. The Avalanche had that. It was theirs.
Totally had the game. We so I know you had derby stuff, right? We had the game on here for poker,
right?
It was a big poker game. We had a lot of money.
I just heard it was a full table.
Yeah, it was full, and to be honest, it was pretty comfortable, right?
Yeah.
It was like really comfortable. It wasn't too bad, but couple guys with a few buy-ins. But yeah, we had that game on, and I mean, it's hockey and it's Dallas, but like that's got to be one of the more legendary performances, right? Against your former team, not just
Right.
a former team from 3 years ago, from like this season, right? They made it clear we don't want to pay you this type of money. We're trading you,
Right.
right? Um, so you have that. It's all in one period. He gets 4 points in a period,
Right.
and I mean that was a crazy collapse too.
Yeah, it was. I thought it was a crazy collapse. Also, I mean, it's 2-0. They're going along just fine. Momentum's a thing. I mean, they
Yeah.
got that goal, and then it was you just saw it coming. It's like Dallas is just nonstop putting the pressure on. You just feel another goal coming to tie it up, and then it was just.
Did you see the thing? The Avs have now lost 7 game 7s in a row.
No, that is crazy.
That's
They're too good of a team too to have that.
I know that's the part that's a little. You're like, man, you got these offensive superstars at least. I mean, again, I've said this for a while for Toronto. I say the same thing with Edmonton. Regular season, that stuff's beautiful, but you get into the playoffs and you got to be able to clamp down and play good, strong defense. And that's not just even in your own zone, right? Like you've got to, be able to apply a good forecheck, right? A good forecheck neutralizes a team's offense a little bit. But yeah, two back-to-back games for the NHL. I mean, just incredible games.
Yeah.
Really, really good stuff.
Yeah. You have the Leafs that start out their series against the Panthers, and I mean, everybody just assumes the Leafs are going to collapse, and it hasn't happened yet. Though, what did you think about that elbow to the goalie? Do you think it was super dirty? Do you think it was?
I mean, it didn't seem overly.
I agree. When I'm watching it, I watch on replay. I don't feel like I watched seeing his elbow just kind of come up.
That's what I mean. I don't see.
Yeah, I think he's going through. He hits him. I agree that he gets hit.
I mean, again, did it happen? I mean, obviously the guy was puking. I'm assuming that's the reason what it was from. They never said anything about sickness or anything, but like I said, Carolina just tied it. I don't know if you have the game on.
I don't have it on, but I just saw it on my screen. We can talk real quickly. I mean, you watch this game. Carolina's a better team right now. I know it's 1-0, but I felt like Carolina's been the better team in this game so far.
Yeah, I bet Carolina to win because I just think they're a better team.
I know you're anti the Caps.
I was impressed with the way they played in the first round.
Right. No, I agree. I think the Canes are going to win the series. This game, they've been the better team so far.
Yeah. Of all of the series, that's my least favorite, right?
Yeah.
I think the other three are
extremely interesting.
Yeah.
I mean, you got Eichel, McDavid. That's great right there.
Yeah, that's outstanding. I'm super excited for that to
You would
go.
think the NHL, I mean, they struggle with advertising sometimes, and they should be pushing that out over and over and over again. You should see it on every ESPN commercial.
100%. I mean,
they struggle
nonstop
sometimes with their advertising.
They do.
Pushed.
They do. That's that I'm super pumped with that. Leafs and Panthers.
Right.
Game 1 was exactly what I think that series is going to be. Fun, exciting.
Yeah.
I had the over in that, so that hit. That was a nice little pickup. I've been hitting some stuff lately.
Good.
I still kind of think the Panthers are going to be too good.
I still think the Panthers. This is going to be a long series.
Yeah, it is. I mean that one's going long. I mean, listen, if they can put the puck in, if they can keep putting in, 3-4 goals, then maybe Toronto can definitely pull it off.
Right.
Right.
And the goaltender's out for a while, and who knows? But
have they given any update? I didn't look.
Yet, but
So, Yeah, I mean, between those two series and Jets and Stars, it maybe don't have the big name appeal, right? Like
Right.
you don't have original six
No,
and
I know.
stuff, but those are very, very good hockey teams.
Yeah.
Uh, Kyle Connor for the Jets. There's times to me he looks like a
I know.
real
Superstar.
star, like
Yeah.
really strong. He controls the puck. He's got a little bit of that Kaprizov in him. That will, like, sometimes he gets that puck and he starts zipping around the net, and it's like the other team's kind of like holding on a little bit.
Right.
But I know Bennington's good. Ottinger for Dallas is really strong, and Dallas is one of those teams that, despite me kind of sometimes not thinking they're as good as they are, they've been making some good playoff runs here.
Right.
So
No,
they're
they have.
obviously better than I think.
I like their green jerseys too. You kind of
Yeah,
talk about nonstop, but I do like their green jerseys.
yeah.
Favorite
I,
jerseys in
I
hockey.
know you don't have the same hate for Dallas that you have Carolina.
I don't, and you think I would as a Sabres fan, just have that hatred, but
Yeah,
yeah, I don't. I just hate Carolina. I mean, I just feel like Sabres just never beat them regular season, and I guess it was the last time we were in the playoffs. So I'm still holding that grudge for a long time.
it's a long time. It
It's a
is.
long time we hold a grudge, So
It
yeah,
is. Uh, yeah. I mean, there's NHL's got a lot going. They got a couple Canadian teams, which is, for them, I think it's a big deal, and for the storyline, and you got some really strong teams. So the only team that I really just don't think has any chance to go to is the Capitals, and they were a 1 seed, so
yeah,
maybe I feel that way, but I just don't see how they could keep up with the speed and the
right,
skill in the
right.
playoffs of these other
Yeah,
teams.
that's what I noticed first period. When I watch it, that was exactly what I. It was man, the Canes are so much faster.
Yeah, I mean, I said that when Carolina played that one game versus the Devils. I think it was
Yeah,
that overtime game, and I
yeah,
was just like, "Holy crap!" Like I couldn't tell if the Devils looked that bad or if Carolina was that fast and good, or possibly a little bit of both. But like I don't think the Caps are a flying team, and I think Carolina is going to be able to control the play. So 4 good series in the NHL. I think at least I think there's a good chance we see 2 more Game 7s, which are always
yeah.
awesome.
I do too. I think a couple of these go long, so that's always what we want to see. Just good
Yeah,
series.
Game 7s are
Yeah,
outstanding. Uh, NBA. I have been. Ooh, your Pacers are making it a little
yeah.
closer.
Making a run. They're making a run. They didn't start this game great. They got it's one of those. How you always talk about how as soon as that game before this game started, they're talking about the injuries for Cavaliers and
Yeah, yep.
who's out, and you're like, yeah, yeah, this is gonna be a Cavaliers game right here. They have a deep team first of all, the Cavs, and yeah, they came out and just punished the Pacers in the first half of this game, but Pacers already got they took the one on the road the first game,
Big one.
and they're creeping here. I don't know, they're running a little out of time. I think it's going to be a Cavs win here, but yeah, the Pacers have been playing really good.
Yeah, they have been.
It was a good first game was nice win for them, and I think this. I still think the Cavaliers are going to win this series. They're a deep team. Pacers are a little bit bigger and stronger. They got to use that a little bit more to their advantage. But I've been watching the Pacers. I know no one probably even cares about this series because no one knows any players on the Cavs or the Pacers. But
Yeah.
I do like them. Halliburton's good. They got some big players and size on their team. I think they just got to use it better.
I'm
Uh,
curious to see. I'm curious to see the spread when they go home.
yeah,
I
I
mean,
know.
I did like Cleveland coming into this game.
Yeah,
I mean, I think it's really hard to win 2 road games.
I agree.
I also really like the fact that some of these teams had a layup, had time off,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
I took I took I actually had the Nuggets with the spread and the Nuggets straight up last night.
Last night.
Super small with the straight
Yeah,
up. I mean, they were getting 10 points. I'm like,
I know.
they're good. I know OKC's been, outstanding, but I'm just like, dude, Jokic is so good, and
He's
they
so
have other
good.
guys on that team that
Yeah,
could play. Gordon can play. Um, Murray can
yeah.
play.
If Murray's the key to that team a little bit. Jokic, the Joker's always he's gonna do what he does.
He's gonna get his stuff. Yep.
Triple double almost every night. He's
Yeah.
gonna go 25, 30. He's gonna get you 15 rebounds.
Yep.
He's gonna make crazy plays, tons of assists. He makes everybody better. But if Murray can score, the team's really tough to beat.
And Westbrook's been really good.
He's been better. He's been better.
Yeah. I
He's
mean,
controlled.
listen.
He's
What?
controlled. He's controlled.
Yeah.
Back in the day, he was out of control, scored points, but shooting unbelievable amount of shots.
Yeah.
You don't
I'll
want
say
that
that
guy to shoot at
he
all, ever.
always hustles his ass off,
Yes.
man. He's all over the court.
Yeah. Yeah. You
So
don't want the guy to shoot. You got other guys to shoot. He's
yeah.
take him to the rim. He plays good. You're right. He's always hustling. He's always sprinting around.
But I think even with getting a little more mature and your role changing and
Yes,
being
I think he's
few
been able to
teams,
sit in a role better.
even like his shooting, I feel's been a little bit better. But again, you're taking better shots.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you're not forcing shots up all over,
Yeah.
playing at an unbelievable, ridiculous speed. You know what I mean? Like there's a moment for it, and then there's a time to
Yeah.
gather yourself.
When he was in OKC, he was just chucking up everything, forcing that triple double, every night, like doing everything, and it was just obvious that it was a problem. And yeah, this is the best he's looked in a while. I think.
So I loved that. I wasn't. I love that Pacers game. I definitely felt like having some of the time off. Right.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember if I bet that game. I think there's the idea of getting rest for teams, right?
Right.
And then there's the also like we haven't played in 5 days.
Yeah, it means something.
And
these guys are used to playing every other night.
And sometimes that takes a little. Sometimes that takes a quarter, maybe a half to even back, maybe even longer, right? Yeah. I mean, so that's going to be a great series. Celtics Knicks.
Can we just before we talk about Celtics Knicks, I want to talk about the Warriors because it comes up with the Celtics Knicks for me.
All right, wait. Rewind. I got one more thing about the Denver thing.
Okay.
You got to go and we got to watch this video. So, this guy's crazy. It's awesome. So, Gordon hits that three, right?
Yeah.
Huge three. Hits the three. Everyone, they all just start celebrating. They're going nuts. And you can see, all right, so they make the three.
Yeah.
OKC inbounds it in. There's like 2 seconds left.
Yeah.
Jokic gives like a little bit of pressure.
Yeah.
Then he backs away because he's like, I'm not going to foul. Yeah. And the guy launches the three from 3/4 court. Doesn't go in. They all, Denver's all celebrating.
Yeah.
And in the corner of the picture, you see Jokic like just walking, right?
Yeah.
And these guys are celebrating, and he just walks right by and goes to the locker room. Like the guy does not. I said this at the poker table, and some guy they went. I don't want to say he doesn't love basketball, but he's the most like, this is my job.
Yeah.
And that's it.
In basketball.
And like he literally did not celebrate.
You ever see? There's a guy who kind of mocks him on Twitter. I don't know if you've ever seen that. I'll send
you
some videos. He pretends to be Joker, and he'll shoot from anywhere, hit it, and just be like almost upset that he makes
Yeah.
a shot, that he's good, and that he's got to keep playing. Like his whole thing is like, I just want to go home, but everything I do just goes in. It's a
Yeah.
problem for him. And you're right. It's just like, we won.
And it's awesome. Like, so that it's like you can see like 3/4 of the court, and you see all the guys starting to celebrate, and you just see Jokic walking a little, and then
Yeah.
they pick where they're celebrating, and you see like the 4 or 5 guys, and then right in front of it, I mean, he just strolls right past, and you could tell he's going to the locker room. He doesn't like. I mean, it was almost like, yep, all right, that's done. I want to go back and get some chicken
Yeah.
fingers, whatever.
I'm gonna say so. It's super funny. The guy just pretends to be him, and it's the same thing. Like makes a great pass or makes an amazing shot, and it's just like, oh my god, I just
You
want
have
to know. I just
still
want
out.
to be done with this game.
How much time's left? It
Yes.
was awesome. I mean, listen to he, but I mean, he plays hard.
No,
Obviously,
and yeah, he wants to win.
just it was awesome. It was
Yeah,
like he didn't even care that they won, but
right.
he
You
does.
know
But
he
it's
does.
not in his personality.
Yeah,
So, all right, Warriors, Timberwolves.
yeah. They're gonna play. They beat the Rockets. We don't. I think it's gonna be a great series. That's not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about the Celtics and Knicks, but I want to talk about how Curry, who I love, and I love watching him play.
Yeah,
He has ruined basketball single handedly. The Celtics shot 63s yesterday. 60.
I know.
They missed 40. It's I'm watching basketball and I like it. I watch all playoffs of any sport. I enjoy it.
Yeah,
But it is turning into a 3-point shooting contest every game. It's like you got like a layup and they're kicking it out. And I get it, the analytics tell me that, take the three because it's this and that. But 63s?
I know. I know. There was one. I forget the game. There was one game where I think they said this might have been regular season towards the end or something, but there was like 107 between the two teams or something.
Yeah. It is. And I love Curry. And he's changed the game. So to me, anybody who changes the way you play a game
Yeah,
is one of the best players of all time, which he is. And I love him.
yeah,
He's the best at it. But he's changed it for the worse, in my opinion. There's
yeah.
no
There's
reason to
there's
have a big guy. You just want like a guy who's like 6'8", but he's going to be able to shoot threes too. They don't go to the paint. You got these guys who's you get it's either a layup dunk or it's a 3-pointer. There's no mid range shots ever.
yeah.
It's just again, I'm not bashing Curry because I love him, but
Sure.
the game has changed in the last 5 to 10 years, 5 years, where it is that Celtics Knicks game that they're up at one point they're up 20 points, I believe that's
20. They were up 20.
yeah,
Yeah,
and they're shooting 63s.
I
What are
know.
they doing?
And they were up 20, and they weren't hitting their threes.
They weren't hitting
I
them.
didn't.
So
I didn't.
do something else.
I didn't get to watch the first half.
Right.
I saw Portnoy tweeted like,
Yeah.
they don't even belong on the court with us.
Yeah. I know it's one of it got in
And
that.
then in the third, I tuned in like with a couple minutes left in the third quarter, and they had it down to 6, and then they went back to 9 or 10. Then it got back to 6, and then from there, they obviously pulled even and went. But I mean, I do miss. I wish there was just. I wish it was down just a little bit, the threes.
Yeah.
Because I'll say this, and I've argued this. Like we have a tough. This is tough to argue with people our age. I feel because everybody loves their era of a sport, right? But I mean, there was a time where the game was slow.
It was slow, and I know it
right.
is
I
much
mean, you're like,
faster pace.
you hand it to the big guy, and he just sticks his ass and dribbles 14 times, and you're getting 92, 90. So like I'll say this, it keeps like there's times where I'm like, take off a little bit of clock, but they don't anymore.
They
It's
don't.
just up and down, threes.
Yeah, don't worry about the clock. It's you get a look, shoot it right away.
Yeah. So,
I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying.
but
But
I
this is,
agree.
when you're in, you got fast break situations and this and that, but there is half court basketball games
Yep.
that have to be played.
Yeah.
And you would think at some point you'd have to run some sort of offense or some sort of play, or it's just a half court shot or a mid range shot is there. But it is like, oh, they dribble, and they're so good at this now that they just like step back threes.
Yeah.
And that's the best shot, and they make a lot of them. I'm not saying they don't.
I know that one, the step, Brunson step back three.
Yeah.
What, it was a
That
couple.
was to win it in like for
Yeah.
yeah. It was great.
Dude, I don't know if I've ever seen that much separation
Yeah.
from a move. Like he was dribbling and like had that quick crossover, and that guy drifted like 8 feet away.
Right.
And then of course, I mean, he nailed the shot like dead nuts. But
I know. I listen. I don't know. I've been watching. I've been watching more basketball recently with the playoffs, and it's just like, at least that's why maybe I like Joker as my favorite player. It's this guy.
Yeah.
He goes
he's
low. He'll shoot a couple. He does moves. He's kind of in a mix of an old school, new school.
Yep.
He can do everything.
I mean, guys cut. He finds them.
Yeah. Not afraid to pass out of the three area. It's becoming a problem for me, and I agree that I'm not saying that we need like Oakley back and these guys back just punching.
I've gone
punching people when they go to.
I've gone through this with I'm like, they'll tell me how much better basketball was back then. I'm like, dude, half of those guys wouldn't even be in the
no,
like
they were useless now. They had no point. They'd get a couple layups. They're strictly in for defensive real reasons
and mugging people. And again, not to say that it couldn't be exciting and the physicalness, right? And all of that, but like today's guys are just so athletic, and the skill set.
Everybody can shoot. Everybody's
skill set is just so much better.
Yeah.
Then again, I'm not putting down anybody. Jordan is still unbelievable. He's still, most people say he's the number one guy ever. Yeah. I'm not saying those things. You watch the game then and you're like, dude, half of those guys I really don't think would be in the league today.
I know. You're right. No, I agree 100%. I mean, it's a different game. You play to your time.
Yep. Yep.
At that point, I mean, you just know, it's going to be a mugging and this and that. And
yeah.
But yeah, like I said, I'm not asking it to go all the way back there. I just think especially when
a little bit.
Especially when you miss 43s in a game.
Yes. Like, what else do you have? To be honest, it's like, would the Celtics have won had they tried to get a couple better? Yeah. I mean, Tatum obviously didn't have it, and I'm a Duke guy, so like I don't, there's a part of me that likes Tatum, and I was glad he got some success, but like I'm like, dude, this guy's just jacking him, right?
Yeah.
And like you said, they don't even. A lot of times, it's not like
take it to the hole. He's got great skills.
Yeah, that's right.
He doesn't need to just shoot threes all day. I mean,
and as much as Curry shoots threes, there's times where he will look for a pick and get himself to the hoop.
Right, because they know everybody's going to just run out of him.
And I just think there comes a time where you're like, let's try and get some better shots here.
Right.
Let's just try, because they'll just isolate, one-on-one isolate, and I'm just gonna dribble through the legs, jab step here until
you're watching the game. You're like, you just see this guy's setting them up for a step back three, and you're like, all right, that was a good shot. But again, the Celtics game really got to me. I guess I'm watching. I'm like, this is just brick after brick after brick. Do something different.
Yeah,
and offense.
Try and get a couple cheap looks, or get
Yeah,
yourself to the
easy
line
baskets. Try.
and get yourself to the line where you can get some free points a little
Yes.
bit. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I agree.
So,
So
I don't
yeah,
know. That's I do think I don't know. I want to see the line. I'm tempted to
I'm
bet
already
this.
got. That's part of my bet. I'm taking it.
Yeah, you're taking it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll get to those in a second.
All right.
Uh, T Wolves Warriors. There's a part of me that just started. Uh, I don't know. I feel you get these games where everyone is. I guess the T Wolves just had a long series. Um, I, I could see the Warriors this game right here. I think the Warriors are getting 6.5
Yeah.
points. I put a little bit on that. I
Yeah.
like it.
Yeah, I can see that. There is a lot of hype now with the
T
Timberwolves.
Wolves have been off.
Yeah.
They've been off for a
Yeah.
bit, right?
Yeah. No,
So
I agree with you. I like the Wolves in the series, but I can see the Warriors coming out tonight and shutting them up a little bit.
yeah, I think it'll be curious to see
Again,
what.
the only problem with the Warriors is they're a small team, and the one thing that Timberwolves are, they're a big, tall team, and I just think eventually that's going to get to the Warriors in this series. But oh man, Pacers took it.
They did what?
Oh yeah, baby.
Oh
Woo!
wow! They were down 4 with a
I
minute.
just was watching and I don't know what happened. I'm just checking on my screen, but it was 12 seconds left or something, and they were down two. And they must have hit a three.
Wow,
Oh, two up two now in the series. That's huge.
that's huge.
Woo! My boys. Nice.
Oh man.
Good win. Yeah. All right.
Uh,
Sweet. Yeah, I do like the Wolves in this series. I think overall they're gonna punish them a little bit. I just think they're undersized there, so we'll see. But I like the Timberwolves in that series. I like the Thunder to eventually win that series. I like the Celtics to eventually win that series. And I like the Pacers now to win this series.
yeah.
I was
Um,
I might change. I know I said maybe earlier, but now I'm changing to the Pacers.
you like the Thunder, huh?
I do like the Thunder. I think the Thunder is the best team possibly.
Yeah. No. Yeah, I
But I
think
do like the Thunder.
that's going to be a great series. I'm
It's gonna
excited.
be good.
I'm excited. I'm excited to watch that.
Yeah.
So we'll see. There's something about Jimmy Butler and the
Yeah. I
Warriors.
mean, since he's been there, man, they're
I,
one of the best defensive teams now playing. And
yeah,
the
it'll be
record with
interesting to
him on
see
the
how
team
if
is
they
good.
can put some resistance up on Ant and keep him in check a little bit. I know Gobert had a big
Yeah, I know. He's not going to do that.
versus the Lakers. I don't know if I see that all the time. Um, we'll see. We'll see. There's something about I just I like between the skill set that the the Warriors already had, plus adding a player like Butler and his all around game and his experience, and he's always a playoff monster.
Yeah.
There's something about that. I think that series. I think that series is going to be tougher than I think some people think. So, um,
Hey, did you win any money on the Derby?
no.
Okay. I was
Did
looking
you?
at my notes from what we talked last week, and I had two horses underlined: sovereignty and journalism. I didn't bet it. I mean, I had them in different things, but I didn't put them together.
Yeah.
It's like to me, the Derby is that day where you're like, you know what? Today is the day I could win $20,000 on a $6 bet because
Yeah.
you're like, shoot. I mean, yeah, journalism might come in, but it also might be a 40 to 1, a 30 to 1. If so many horses, anything can happen. And this is one of the first ones in a while with a lot of favorites up there. So yeah,
That was, dude. That track was muddy.
it was muddy.
Wow.
It was
I
muddy.
heard. No, I didn't see anything. I just saw the headline. I think I saw it before.
Yeah, he's not racing.
Yeah. Why?
Listen, they want to ruin horse racing. I don't know. Who knows if the horses, whatever. You don't want a horse to get hurt or injured if it's something. But if it's not, it's a terrible. I don't want to say look for horse racing, but it it is. It takes all the interest out of the next race.
Yeah, it does. I'm super. I'm just trying to see real quick on.
Yeah, I just saw he was
Yes,
close.
he's got a scrape on his right front pastern, which I don't know what that
Right.
is, which is obviously a leg,
Yeah.
which is above the hoof, but it wasn't that serious. It was likely from the clipping heels with another horse when exiting the gate. I don't know if that's the reason or not, but yeah, that takes a lot of juice
It
out
takes
of
a lot of juice out of the next one.
it. It does. Takes a
Yeah,
ton.
I saw it. I was like, oh, that sucks. I
It
mean, the
does.
whole thing is like if you're the owner of the sovereignty, you're like, man, if you could be a triple, it's like everybody remembers Triple Crown winners. So it's like, I don't know. It would take a lot for me to make like, oh, what is the horse's injury
Yeah.
possibilities with this? But it does take a lot out of the next race.
All right. Let's get to some bets here.
Yeah.
Uh So in our last one we had I I went 2-0. I had Denver Clippers over 212. That wound up hitting. I think it got to 212 and a half. It got to 217. And then I had Toronto just in the money line, which was minus 105. So those two wins put me at 12-8. I been doing well on these ones and a couple of my side ones. You know what that means.
Yeah.
Probably going to go south.
Yeah. I went south. I've been doing good too, and I went 0-2. I mean, I had the dreaded halfway loss in
Oh,
the Clippers. You know, the Clippers Nuggets game. They won by 6, but it was 6.5.
that's
And
so rough because you're just as you're watching in the last
oh,
couple.
they were up 10, and then they got down. They cut it down to 5, and I'm like, come. And then I'm like, oh, here we go. It's gonna be a free throw shooting thing that.
That's right. In basketball, it's all or that bogus three that someone's
Something,
jacking off.
yeah, it was just that's the way it goes. But and then I thought I was betting when I looked it up. I didn't really look too well. I thought I was getting. It wouldn't have mattered. I lost either way, but I thought it was Ottawa plus 1.5, but it was actually minus 1.5, which I
Yeah,
would have
I mean
hated.
they were like the slightest of favorites.
Yeah.
I mean,
Which I would have never took, but I stuck with it, and it wouldn't have mattered either way. They would have lost either way. So they
yeah.
lost by 2. So in the end, it really didn't affect the bet. Uh, yeah, but you got to get back on that horse and start betting again.
That's right. I mean,
And
again,
I'll get my first one.
put you at 9 and 10,
Yeah, it's not
not
terrible.
the end of the world here.
No.
All right, I'm gonna type these in as we go.
All
So
right. Yeah, we talked about the Celtics and how they lost. They missed 43s and this and that. They're not doing it again. They're the better team. I'm taking them minus 10.5. And they're not losing 2 to the Knicks. So I'm taking the Celtics minus 10.5.
minus 10.5. That is a
Just boatload of points.
when's that game?
Tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night. Yeah, that's a big number.
Big number.
That is a big number. I am gonna go with my first one. I'm gonna go to the NHL. And I am gonna go to. Let's see. Mine's gonna be on Thursday. I'm taking the Hurricanes, whatever the money line is. I don't think it's gonna be. I mean, they'll obviously be the favorite, but unless it's 200 or
Yeah.
two something, then maybe I reconsider it. But I think right now I just can't see Washington. I just can't see Washington winning that game.
All right. I like it. Listen, you thought 10.5 was a big number. Let's take the Thunder minus 11.5. when I love when a team just wins, and then the next game they are underdogs by 11 and a half because it doesn't make any sense to anybody. So I'm taking it. It's one of those numbers that like I said, we just saw the Nuggets win a game by 2, and now they're underdogs by 11 and a half. That is a huge number. It, I'm just gonna take it. It sticks out to me, and I'm gonna bet it.
Wow.
I know. We'll see.
That's a big number.
That's a big number. It doesn't even make
Well,
sense.
let me say this. I feel. Give me a second here, because when did you look at that line?
Just before we got online here.
Because if I go
Wouldn't have changed that
to
much.
no, I know, but I feel like when I click on that's tomorrow.
That's tomorrow. Let me double check. Maybe.
ESPN has it at 10.5.
All right. I am on BetMGM, so let me see.
We're gonna
Give me 10 and a
give you
half.
10.5.
Yeah, I would bet it. I would obviously do 10 and a
You
half.
could shop. If you shop around, you get 10.5.
I was just looking at one right before. I was just looking at one right before we got.
Yeah, you're like me. I know you got 5 different accounts.
Yeah. I was just doing one before. I was just looking at the quick spreads before we jumped on. Yeah, it's still 11 and a half on BetMGM. So yeah, give me it at 10 and a half.
Sure, because you can find it at 10.5.
Yeah.
All right.
I want to say this is that I did lose on the number I gave that was a night before the game, which might have changed on that Rockets game. That was 6.5. I gave it as 6.5. That was the night before. It could have changed to 6 or
Oh
something. I know I'm going to take the loss. I'm just saying it could have moved to half a point,
man,
maybe a full point.
you're
I don't
scraping.
know. I can't go back in time, but somebody might have taken the bet and won out there if they would have looked around.
I am gonna stick with the NHL. I can't. These 10.5s are big.
They
They're 10.
are.
I mean, maybe I wonder what I'll get if I pick one of them and then parlay a money line with the other home team.
Yeah.
I'd like the home teams.
Yeah.
Man, and in the NBA, those numbers aren't huge because teams win by 15
Yeah, it
and
seems like it's been happening all the time.
all the time. But
I know.
I'm gonna take Florida tomorrow. I'm gonna take the Panthers over the Leafs.
I like it.
I think they're too good, too experienced to go down to. I'm not sure what Toronto's goaltending situation is right now. It shows it as a minus 140. I just think this series is going to go long and it's going to be tough. And I don't see a team winning. The first 2. I think that'll go back. That'll go back 1-1. So, let me enter that in real quick. Any I also just for I today I got you get that little like bonus from your site just for fun.
Yeah. I love
Mine was like a 50% profit boost on home runs.
Okay.
And I $10 max, of course, but I put it on Freddie Freeman, brought it up to 660.
You hit it?
So $10 pays 666, and Freddie went yard.
Nice.
I know. I was like, and it's funny because I thought I put the bet in. I forgot I got that boost because at first I was looking at Freeman plus like 1.5 bases or something.
Yeah.
Something I was listening to this morning, and I was like, oh. But then I got that, and I went back and I looked. He had a single in like the first. I'm like, I'm halfway there, and then I log in, and I'm like, oh, I forgot I did the home run bet, and then he wound up hitting it. So that was a nice little.
That's a nice little
one.
Little boost.
I had a buddy who put. He's a listener. He's a subscriber, so he's going to appreciate it.
All right.
He put he had some huge bonus from some like home run contest he did.
Yeah.
And he put though, because you had to do it in all-in-one bet.
Yeah.
So he put it on Yeah, Winnipeg when they were down like 3-1 or something,
Yeah.
money line.
Yeah.
And I think it paid out like $600 or something.
Oh.
Free, all free money though, right?
That's the best.
To lose.
Yeah.
Oh man, it
That's
was
great.
awesome. One text thread, we were just text going back and forth.
Right.
It was great.
Yeah,
So yeah, that was pretty exciting stuff. So
yeah, it's a great time of
all
year
right.
for gambling.
Yeah, let's definitely try and get another episode in, an episode in this week. You're relatively free.
Yeah.
All right, sounds good. Episode 21 wrapped up. I am going to go watch the end of this hockey game, and then I'm going to flip over to some basketball and enjoy the rest of the night. So
enjoy the games.
Listeners, we are on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, and iHeartRadio. Make sure you give us a subscribe. We'd appreciate it if you maybe throw it to a buddy or two that listens to or loves sports, and help us build the numbers. I know we've been building a little bit here and there. When I get a down stretch, I'm going to really try and get some stuff out there and see if we can grab some more. But
keep going.
All right, sounds good. Happy. Real quick, pick an overtime winner for hockey. Who's going to score?
Oh, hold on a second.
I'm going to go.
I do like this game.
Yeah, I'm going to go Svechnikov. I feel like he's been really close this game. I just love what that guy brings. I think he could score in a ton of ways. He can just snipe. He's behind the net. He's dangerous. So, I'm gonna go with him.
All right. I'm gonna take the rookie, Blake.
All right.
He's been playing pretty good. He's been getting some time, and I'm gonna take him.
Listen, a lot of times in these games, that's the guy, right?
Yeah.
It's a guy that no one's expecting, and they end up potting the big winner. So,
I like it.
All right. Have a good one. See ya.
Peace.